Hello and welcome to the most glorious autumn day here in West Wales. And in this video, I'm carrying on with planting up my wildflower meadow, plus I've got a beautiful walk in the countryside for you. So we're slightly overgrown bit of woodland that is one of our regular walks. And if you've been here before, you've probably seen this bit of woodland, but you can see up there, beautiful blue sky, absolutely cloudless, which probably means that tonight we might have a bit of a cold snap, and it might be wood burning stove lighting day. I don't know, we'll have to see. If the temperature drops below about 9 degrees centigrade outside, then although we've got electric storage heaters which sort of give a background heat, we just sort of need that extra bit with the wood burning stove. Right, well, I'm going to carry on with my walk and I will see you back at the house. Back home, it is such a glorious day. My first job is that I need to dig out some of the grass and sort of prepare where I'm going to put these wildflower seeds. Andrew is doing a bit of pruning and he can actually do that from the wheelchair. So we're kind of, we're doing that whole working together on our joint project, because it really is our joint project, making this garden into our dream cottage garden. Right, I'll turn the camera around and show you what I'm up to. This was what I bought at the garden centre the other day. Tate, and they're going to go into a tub. Then we have this hedgerow mix, and it's for a sort of shady area, which is what we've got. Then we've got yellow rattle, which sort of helps keep the grass down, because although I'm digging the grass out, I'm absolutely sure some of it will come back. Then I've got some seeds that were freebies. I used to have a subscription to Kitchen Garden magazine, and they give away seeds. So I've got foxgloves, a gypsophilia and an nigella, and just going to mix those in and hopefully we'll have the display we want. Little bit of a change of plan. It's really sunny and I've got a bit of creosoting to finish on the fence, but I need some more creosote. Actually, it's not called creosote anymore. What is it called? Something a bit like creosote, but not creosote. Anyway, that's irrelevant. I need to go to the farm stores down the road to get some of that. And I thought, as everybody enjoyed going on the little road trip that we did a couple of days ago, that I would do that again. And also, while I'm out that way, I'm going to take the dog for a walk. And my plan is that we'll go to Aberidi. I don't know, we'll have to see how that goes. It can be a bit wild and windy down there, so how much filming I'll actually be able to do down there, I'm not sure. Anyway, that's the plan. So I'm going to get the dog in the car and get myself together and head off. And our first stop is going to be the farm supply shop at Croesgoch. And then we're going to go to Aberidi for a walk. And I just thought I'd take you along. Had lots of comments how much people enjoyed just seeing the countryside. So I had a comment on one of my videos from actually a YouTuber who I watch, Sean James Cameron, and he has just moved from London after 20 years in London back to his home in Wales, in the Rhondda Valley. Now, the Valleys is in southeast Wales, very different part of Wales from this, but actually sort of the part of Wales that my family's from. And I've really been enjoying watching his slow living videos. So I was a little bit starstruck to have him leave a comment. But one of the things he said was how different the weather is coming back to Wales from living in London. And I guess it is really. you know, London's an urban centre. It's always warmer in urban centres. So he's having to adjust his gardening style to suit his new climate. And of course, Pembrokeshire is known for being warmest part of Wales, and particularly South Pembrokeshire, not so much in North Pembrokeshire. And actually, once you get past St David's, you don't have the same sort of warmth in the sea. I was talking to one of the local fishermen, and he was telling me they get completely different species of fish literally just round the corner from St David's because the water is colder. And I guess that's being the North Coast. So one of the stereotypes people have about Wales is that it rains all the time. And I think that really depends what you're used to. Because for the majority of my life, I lived in the southwest of England. And actually it rains quite a lot there. And so I don't think it rains any more in Wales than it did in Somerset. However, it does rain more in Wales than it does in the southeast of England. The skies are so big here, I just love them. And I actually really like the weather. I like a bit of weather. I like to stand in the rain, get the cobwebs blown away. Okay, we are just coming to Square and Compass. What a great name for a village. So it's named after the pub. So here we are, Croesgoch. So I'm just gonna pop in here and hopefully they've got the creosote I want. So Croesgoch farm stores, came up trumps, had some of the light oak creosote that I like. So I'll get the fence finished. Well, it's still dry before the weather really changes. So next stop is Aberidi Beach, and there are lots of cottages down here that you can stay in. You can always tell a holiday cottage because it's freshly painted. So this lot, these are all holiday lets. Ah, my goodness. My goodness. There's lots of walkers on the cliff path today. I'm not surprised. It's a glorious day. Whoopsie, bit bumpy. Here we are, more holiday lets. Right, there are also seal pups here, so we are going somewhere else. Ah well, we'll come back here in the winter. So we will go back there, and we will go back there when there aren't seal pups. We have Andrew's sister and Andrew's sister's best friend from school. How complicated is that? So they're coming down to stay for a few days. They never stay with us because we haven't got the space. We did look at bigger places. We could have bought bigger places, but we were really keen to keep our fixed costs, so the amount of money it cost us to sort of live each month, just to keep them as low as possible so that we could have a bit of money to pursue our hobbies. Because we were both relatively young. I mean, I was in my 40s and Andrew was in his 50s when Andrew had his brain injury. And it was once it was clear that Andrew just was not going to be able to go back to work, we had to change our thinking about all sorts of things. And I really was not ready to retire, I have to tell you. But, you know, you just do what you've got to do, don't you? It's one of the reasons I still have my little side hustle, is I just was not ready to retire. I actually really enjoyed my job. I know lots of people don't enjoy their jobs, but I was really lucky. I enjoyed my job, plus I was part of our business, our shared business, and I loved that too. And I really miss the whole kind of social aspect of it. I worked in catering, saw different people all the time, and I loved it. And of course, we did the farmers markets, and they're very social as well. Right, I have to try not to miss this turning. We've got a very picturesque little village, and then we're going out to the old airfield at St David's, and this was a World War II airfield, and it helped to protect the Atlantic convoys. So the planes would take off from this airfield and protect the convoys, the Second World War convoys, while they were crossing the Atlantic. I mean, I don't know how far out of the Atlantic they could go, because obviously they couldn't fly all the way there to protect them, but there was a certain point at which they kind of were not at risk from the air anymore. It was more the U-boats. Ah, this is going to be lovely. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh well, we'll do the beach another day. I don't want to disturb seal pups. If you are visiting here and you are a wheelchair user or you use a mobility scooter, then this is the surface that's pretty much everywhere. They are the old link roads from when it was an aerodrome, and we probably won't go as far as the runway, but you can get all around the site on these roadways. They are concrete. There are a few holes in them, and there's a bit of grass growing in between some of them. And when Andrew comes here, he comes in his mobility scooter, and his words are, it's no different from the road, really. So if you're used to going on the public roads, you won't find these particularly difficult, this terrain. And it's very flat. So if you are self-propelling, or if you're pushing someone, then it's doable. If you have watched the channel before, then we have been here before, and it was much earlier in the year. I think it was maybe May time. Oh, I can't really remember. And you will know what's coming next. But if you are new here, and I've got a lot of new people here, then you will be somewhat surprised by what I'm going to show you in a minute, because it's very unexpected. So when we get there, I'll show you. So we come around the corner, and there is a stone circle and someone meditating. So I'm actually not going to get any closer. And we will come back here again. We walk down here quite a lot, so we'll come back again when someone's not sat there meditating and you can have a closer look. Back home, it has been the most glorious day. I haven't got any of my indoor chores done, but it'll probably rain tomorrow. And I've just got one last thing to say. It's time for a nice cup of tea. So until next time, bye-bye.